say to him, if I had to share this life in my life, what would I say this? What would I tell him? At 2 in the morning, I wrote this song called Dear Slim. Didn't think much of it, thought he'd never hear it, didn't really even care about it. I said, I'm never going to put it out. I performed it one time, and I said, you know what? I'm going to put this song out. I sat there and I did this song, and I just said, you know what? I don't know you, Eminem. I don't know you, Marshall Mathers, but God does. God has an incredible plan that will change your life if you let it. And I didn't just say this to him. I said it to anybody. I said it to myself. I write this song. I put it out. And before I know it, I step off the stage at a show. This guy walks up to me, stares me in the eyes. He says, hey, man, you don't know me. He said, but last night I met Eminem backstage. The Video Music Awards. He said, I had your CD in my pocket. He said, I walked up to him and I handed it to him and I told him this. I said, this guy right here, he's got a message that you need to hear. That night, Eminem took my CD and walked out with it. I didn't know what he said. All I knew was that I never thought he'd even get a copy of it. But here's the deal. Jesus took 5 loaves and 2 fish and he multiplied it. Jesus took one little white kid from South Florida who was going absolutely nowhere. And I said, God, break me just like those 5 loaves and 2 fish. Break me in half. And help me to do things that I never thought I could do. If that's where my story ends, I'm cool. If that's where Eminem's story goes, I'm done. But here's what happened. About a year later, I did this video. MTV's TRL decides to play my video. I was like, wow, that's amazing. People get 15 minutes of fame. I got 1.5 minutes of fame right now. It's about to play my video. I didn't hear it. I was in Toronto. My wife is holding up the phone to the television set while they're playing the video, and they play 1 minute of the video, and they say, this KJ52 guy. I'm like, oh, I too. They say, this KJ52 guy, he wrote this song dissing Eminem, but here's the deal. We're going to let you listen to the song, and you be the judge. They played 30 seconds of my song. MTV played it and then cut it off. They only played the part that sounded controversial. They only played the part that sounded like I was dissing Eminem. They only played the part that basically just made me look like something I wasn't. And I thought, isn't that how the world is sometimes? If you flash forward about a year or two later, I get this email from a guy down in Detroit. He says this. He says, you don't know me. He said, but I've been sharing the gospel with Kim Mathers in the jail cell. He goes, I'm a prison guard and I want to give her your CD. I said, I'll do you one better. I'd love to write her a letter. I started writing her letters. He would print them off, give it to her in the jail cell. And I just wrote one thing very simple. I said, Kim, you don't know me. Here's the deal. God has changed my life. He can change your life no matter where you're at, no matter what you're going through. He has the power to do that. He sat down with her in the jail cell, played her the song I'm about to do for you guys in 2 seconds. He said it brought her to tears. And she said, I don't know why anybody would think this is dissing Eminem. She said, I appreciated it. And I was like, yeah, take that, MTV. Bam! If that's where my story ends, I'm cool. But a couple years go by, and I get this email. I get a voicemail. I step off a plane. It goes like this. Hey, man, they did you dirty. Don't worry, God's in control. Click. I'm like, what happened? I call the guy. He goes, dude, you don't know what happened? I'm like, I have no idea. He goes, you're one of the 40 worst moments ever on VH1 right now. I said, what? He goes, click on the TV. I turn it on. I'm watching the show. At number 26, they put me because they said, I prayed for Eminem and I talked about who Jesus was in hip-hop music. They said because I did that, VH1 named me one of the worst moments ever in all of hip-hop music. And all I could think about was this. If that makes me not hip-hop, I don't want to be hip-hop. Because what God has done in my life is real. And I share this with you for one reason, because you may never write a song to Eminem, you may never be an MC, you never rap or whatever. It doesn't make a difference. Jesus took 5 loaves and 2 fish from a boy just the same age as you. And he multiplied it and he fed 5,000 plus people. God wants to do amazing things with you. You are the chosen. This conference is about you understanding that. That God can take the most insignificant people and do some of the most significant things. And I count myself as one of those things. Now my story ends right here before I do this song for you guys. And I appreciate you just giving me a second to share it. 3 or 4 years ago,